Truth. People think that um, truth is spiritual. Truth is not spiritual. Truth is practical. What a human being does in his life, practically none of it is really based upon truth. It's based upon various habits and behaviors that he has learned throughout his life. It's in the form of reactions. It's under the imprisonment of the mind. But it isn't based upon truth. All of the things that people are told and that they read and listen to about the various methodologies and trying to get this and that. Is there anything wrong with listening to that? No, there's nothing wrong with listening to it, but it isn't truth. And to say it isn't truth does not mean that it's all intentionally a lie. What it means is that it's fragments, it's bits and pieces. It isn't truth. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and broken stories and conceptualized phrases and norms and standards and trite rehashed sayings, and it isn't truth. Does a thing have value if it isn't truth?
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
And of what value, particularly of what lasting value, can it be if it isn't truth? Whether it's something that one considers esoteric and philosophical, or whether it's something that is immediate and acute and on the most obviously and clearly practical level in someone's life. Of what value is hearing something about that? Whether it is to progress in that thing or to achieve that thing or to get rid of something else or whatever it is that is desired. Of what value is it to hear something about that thing, anything, if it isn't truth? How can a human being thrive without truth? Truth is the most rarefied element in the land of human beings. Because human beings have learned to live without it. And by learning and adapting in such a way as to live without truth, then the only possibility is for a human being to go astray. And it doesn't mean that if a person is devoted to the truth that he'll never go astray, but that he will have quite a good chance of finding his way back, not too long after he goes astray. But if there's no truth, if that isn't one's guiding light, if that isn't a central part of one's life, is that it, if that isn't the filter through which he approaches every aspect of his life that he cares about, what does he have? How can he go anywhere that isn't a lost place? How can he go anywhere that isn't a place of degradation? But the human is not he doesn't live in the land of truth. He lives in the land of that which the world has made him into. And by living in the land of that which the world has made him into, he moves further and further towards that which is manufactured and further and further away from that which is true. One could make the statement that why would a human being read or watch anything that isn't true? And what could one possibly be interested in as it relates to the things that he or she desires if it does not center upon moving through the truth? Not convention, not opinion, not tradition, but truth. Truth is not something to convince a person to follow. A question that one may wish to ask himself is, Of what value is it to follow anything else? If a thing is not true, of what relevance is it? It doesn't matter how nice it sounds. If it isn't true, of what relevance is it to someone's life? Not abstractly, but directly for the things and about the things he cares about. No matter what the thing may be, and no matter how harsh the truth may or may not be about a particular topic or situation for a person, of what relevance is niceness or harshness if it is truth? Because if it is harsh, naturally, humans are not robots. It may take some time to come to terms with it. Nothing is really an overnight phenomenon necessarily. But if one is not on the path of coming to terms with that, then what is he or she on the path toward? If something is the truth about a thing that a person desires, of what relevance is it if it takes 2 months or 10 years to imbibe that truth? Because in the end, the truth is going to be the thing that happens anyway. So where can a human being hide? The truth is not society. The truth isn't the world. The truth isn't going to knock on someone's door and trying to make him believe concepts. That's the world's approach. That's the expert's approach. The sun doesn't ask you to believe in it. It doesn't ask you to, doesn't sell you on its concept of heat. Where will a human being go without the truth? And once again, about the immediate, acute, and practical things that are most relevant to him in his life, not abstract things, but on the most practical level, about the problems that he has, about the things that he desires, the things that he wishes to attain, the things that he wishes to get away from, the things that he wishes to increase or lessen, whatever it may be. Every human being is living in that circumstance, literally from 1 hour to the next for his entire life. And so without the companionship of the truth, without being armed with the truth, what does he have? Upon what is a thing, a pursuit, a journey founded if it is not founded upon the back of truth? One doesn't need to seek truth itself. That's personal. But one does have desires. One does have pains. One does have things that he wishes to attain and things he wishes to no longer suffer from. That's relevant and practical and immediate to every human being's life. And if he is not armed in that treacherous, pervasive, ongoing pursuit, that journey, then what is he armed with? It is nothing but pure vulnerability to attack. If one thinks the truth that truth is spiritual, he's just been brainwashed by the spiritual psychobabble. Truth is immediately practical. Because once again, what does one have without it? Where can one go without it? How can there not be inevitable suffering and turmoil and disappointment and uncertainty and emotional pain and fear and anxiety? How can those not be the inevitable outcomes on an ongoing basis? How can that be a surprise if one is not on the path of truth, not spiritually, but in direct and in immediate relation to what they seek? If one does not have the truth, what does he have?